Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Monalisa Rumbai bringing to you the news and events from Meghalaya. The headlines for today are: Meghalaya Speaker Medba holds a review meeting with legislators to fight COVID-19 pandemic. Meghalaya government not to turn a blind eye of border problems, HPDRF. Khasi Students Union follows up the rice meant for poor people of Meghalaya. And hawkers express gratitude to district administration for allowing to sell their goods. And now the news in detail. The Speaker of Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Medba Lungdaw, today presided over the review meeting of legislators in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking to the media, Medba Lungdaw termed the meeting as fruitful and their suggestions will be taken into consideration to fight against COVID-19 pandemic in the state. The Speaker also informed that a meeting was also held with Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, in which he was informed on the need to provide to people with HIV/AIDS.
There are a lot of inputs, feedbacks and suggestions given by all the honorable members expressed in the review, and where the department concerned, be it the health and other departments also have taken note of and ensure that those things are in place at the ground level. Well, state as a whole is very vast, has its very vast area. It's very difficult to ensure that each and every health centers are being taken care of. But however, most of those areas, we have seen that the health workers, the doctors, the headmen and so on, they're really a part and parcel of it. Have been proposed today, will be taken up and distributed to those families and those people who are affected with HIV. As of now, those who are regular coming for taking like all the medicines, those things are 1,574 people living with HIV. And as I have said, 202 children also who are living with HIV, they are also part of the thing. So some nutritional support are also being proposed, which we will be giving to them. And we have decided also that quarterly we will be distributing to these children who are living with HIV.
Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma today said his government is doing its best to provide the best health care to the public in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Talking to the media after attending the review meeting organized by the Speaker of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly on concerted effort on the part of MLAs to contain the spread of coronavirus in the state, the Chief Minister said that the government has managed to improve the health care during the last 1 month. He said earlier the state government was having only 700 oxygen cylinders, but now it has 3,000 oxygen cylinders at its disposal. The government is able to increase the number of COVID care centers and hospitals in the state.
May not be possible in a situation like this. We need to realize that we are working against limited resources and against time, both. And in both these challenges, which are very, very extreme, we need to do the best we can. So therefore, yes, if you look at it one way, that there are many areas which could have been far better. But we need to realize that we work under very, very difficult constraints. And keeping those situations in mind, I feel that the department and the team has done very well. Now, whether you talk of oxygen, where we had just simply 700 cylinders, today we have 3,000 of them, and many more thousands are coming. We didn't even have one oxygen plant, proper oxygen plant in any of the government units. Today we're going to have it on almost 11 to 12 different hospitals and centers. We didn't even have one cryogenic plant, we're going to have 2 of them. So if you look at that aspect also, it's been in a limited time of less than 30 days, all this work has been done. And on top of that, if you look at the entire situation of the beds that we faced, we were at simply 350 beds. If you remember the first meeting I had when we had a lockdown, I told you that our 5,000 figure we're looking at, positive rate, is based on the 350 beds that we have. And therefore, we were below 1,000 numbers at that point in time, but still seeing the growth rate, we realized that time was running out. And so we went for the lockdown at that point in time, and we feel that it has helped us. Why I'm telling you all this is, again, to give you the idea that there could be shortcomings, there could be areas where, yes, the things could have been better, but we need to realize that we were working with very difficult conditions, very difficult times, and with limited resources. Having said that, what has been mentioned by the opposition regarding the ambulances that they're mentioning, I'm happy to inform you that through donor ministry, we'll be getting 11 of them with life support. At that point in time, if you remember last year when we were going through this entire struggle of fighting the first wave of COVID, it was more of transportation of people. We were not seeing so many serious cases which needed oxygen support. So that was a time when we invested in ambulances just to ensure that the transportation took place, and therefore the focus on the life support was not in the first phase as much as it is in the second phase.
Referring to the trapped miner in East Khasi Hills district, Meghalaya Chief Minister informed that the rescue operation is going on and the Navy team has arrived at the spot to continue the rescue operation.
Reports from them, so they are going to try their best. Of course, we know from last year that they require a certain level of water to be taken out. So those aspects are still being worked at. It's not an easy situation with the water continuously, even after being pumped out, it rises up again. So therefore, all aspects have been taken, but we did not want to take any chance as such. So therefore, we are trying to pull and bring everybody on board to try to help us. So Navy has come, NDRF is there, the State Disaster Force has already been working for a long time there. We are communicating with Coal India and other organizations also. So we have activated as many channels as possible. As I said, even the Navy has been called in. So we are still hoping that we'll be able to get something positive response out of this entire exercise.
The leader of opposition of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Mukul Sangma, today said it is improper to prescribe medicines to COVID patients by non-competent authorities. Speaking to the media, Mukul Sangma said many of the people with COVID-19 symptoms were involved in self-medication. He said such improper self-medication will eventually lead to health crisis in the state. He further said the competent authorities to prescribe medicines to patients are the doctors and those competent authorities in health centers.
With everyone. The concern is indiscriminate use of the medicines by unauthorized people, meaning indiscriminate use of various important life-saving medicines without the prescription of a registered medical practitioner. This is something which has drawn our attention and which I have shared. Now, in number of instances when I talk to the patients who are probably down with this COVID-19, who have not come forward for testing and who have recovered, I asked them, how was the symptoms? The symptoms indicate that they were actually down with COVID-19 and they have recovered. So what was the treatment? The treatment is that they are having self-medication by using local, whoever are not trained medical professionals, but then some so-called, we refer to them as what? We refer to them as quacks. Okay. But then these medicines are available in the pharmacies. Now pharmacies have to be audited. We have complete relevant law for drug control measures. You have the drug inspector. And all those medicines which are required to be administered only after prescription by a registered medical professional, a registered medical practitioner, must be routed only through the hospitals and medical institutions during this pandemic time. Otherwise, there is likelihood of real public health crisis in the days ahead. If very important life-saving antibiotics are being indiscriminately being administered to the patients, and that is also without following the normal dose. Whenever you start administration of an antibiotic, the full course has to be administered to a patient.
Meghalaya Home Minister Lakman Rumboy has provided ambulance to the traditional headman under the banner of Kasinjuki Wahechnong Jantia of Amlarem Civil Subdivision in West Janta Hills District. The ambulance will be used by the Nong Talang Community Health Center. Earlier, the traditional headman requested the minister to provide ambulances for Nangtalang Community Health Centre, Jaran Primary Health Centre and Padu Dispensary, as people are facing enormous hardship due to shortage of vehicles to carry the patients to these health centres to avail medicines. The member of Kasanjoki Shillong Jantia has expressed deep appreciation to the minister for the kind gesture to relieve the problems of the patients of the area.
Ban bao chỉ sang một học prai, và lum u cheroi u yarab u Singapore, hà chỉ ấy chỉ vấn đề hà cam chồng. Ai cũng đây nghe, hào và bút xem, u pilihan jalan, u man kau sekretari, trong vấn đề cái sinh dục, trong bát nông, hào president, hà thì trong bát nông trong câu vàng. Berok kami kaiju ha ki estate committee berok ha ki kam ki dekhi ujaki satu prang ta ka jing chikri umi pumiu jibrau a la chong ka benta ka chikri ha pai ba nia da pangkat ki pai ba ha julian ni kam chikri ta persat ni ko pot hakanya chikri hau papa tanya sa kamera tiga miga por khamtam tiga por jian ya ta a kasunjuk romba chino kada kloy ha chiket lam ha kam lamba kana ambulan mpas naptam daman kana slaman a juga ktinga tangkami motor hai bà đama churon ai tot cái súp và chụp lên aman paman motor politik nulaci jenak kebor handai ka ai ka akam ta akan dicikri orang bachnong daniel cuman bachnong lanti cuman presiden babosiang cuman mereka ni kesenjuk kecuket tot jai teng ke hati ba aku tergejing kata kita sa skem kacau apa kena to ai ke chikri tanya nanti bah ong tiga por rai ha chu sen chu ai kena ke bi hai bah kena ke senjuk ki rombat ta at to du kena kai ong lanti lansbi đam chia rạ mà cắt xị đi ngá hai bà hai cái sinh dục hai chú run hai cái mà to.
The Meghalaya government should not turn a blind eye to the problems faced by the people living along the Meghalaya Assam border, said the leader of Henyotrap Border Dispute Redressal Forum, Thomas Pasa. He said the Chief Minister Konrad Sangma should not take the matter lightly, as Assam is gradually encroaching into the Meghalaya land by offering all sorts of developmental activities along the borders.
Hakasithi ke bangila phak seu mentrang ba ngila ai ke jengmut ba on constitute no da boundary commission ka kirki bat ban bu da por man pendep iki kambaro namala da ngimla man le ban simkhia ya ka yo pu usa mo jongi le se kan wanra ka jinge ka bakhraw ba omdei tangi tu ki pai ba ki basa tu ki khaput Henry Watt yang ni kinong Shillong, kum nak lembah kini ka lat patai kubur, cekik pait ba, kibasa, cekiti tain kapun, Henry kini tain sor, kapsor, keleng, akwa ba ngide don berkat ba cekik pait ba kijongi ki perdok ki prasnam jongi sati tain kapun, kajik sak panpen kijongi, kajik sak eben kijongi. Klaim kono kalat jinga da nak sarkar jala ka jongi ki MLA ki MDC ki berdei negeri konstituensi ki itu ki tang ki port habul ini nak kapor kajing syak bampen ke jongki kalong persyak ya kalong beriman beriu compare lang isa apo Shillong hendak iri benton kata kajing senyum kajing terang bau put usam jongi un baik no ikmil tim ne kalyang jong menteri rang pa jongi par kham tam hai hadin kajing keren jongi sembut menteri showa collection MLA kepala adab ba kilabu nak kalyang jong kaseng NPP bau put usam kadai kamat ba khmat do ka jongki mentak la lai snem impat I kena kalat nanti nak kalyang sarkar jela bukan sim banyada yang put usam jongi kemudian nak kalyang jongi kerpat yang sarkar ban sim kya but ba ka subject jong boundary kanung dei tang subject ikun election hendak kadai ka subject ka ba songkhya songnya bang dangkam parat man penbek do mardor.
The leader of Khasi Students' Union today met the General Manager of the Food Corporation of India in Shillong and inquired from him about the rice meant for the poor people of Meghalaya. Speaking to the media, the KSU Secretary Donald Thaba said the student body is following up the rice meant for the poor people of the state because the truck carrying the rice meant for Meghalaya have diverted the routes some other place.
Nakaliang kaseng ngilawan marmar ni po office banyak kedua markhmat hibat General Manager PN Singh beri pet jangan ka director jangan ka FCI hang ni ko than stay lam ni Andre hadin ke jingya kerang ke jung pan mau ulapan phai kala uang ba nakaliang ke FCI kamden jing tip IRUM ya kan ni ke jing bam sap ya kan ni ke jing bam tu yu khau ha ka ba uang ba nakaliang ke office ke jung leng ba release officer yang yu khau kala ada mang siapa ka kala ada pha siapa ka Directorate of Social Welfare bat ka song itu khau ha ka bai dei bat kini ke kendrum kendram ka song bet ka sarkar jela kata kamu ketenat social welfare ni iru ha ki statement ka khubor ba Social Welfare Minister belah kena kelai suppliers Deputy CM ukuran dokumoi Social Welfare Minister ukuran dokumoi kini kepeti ba kadang ka jingnya piar ka komai statement apa dengan Deputy CM Social Welfare Minister ba kalau ke conflict statement bengila panong tin fareng ka ba wei ukuran dokumoi kan ba uni hang ni pada uang bet bak FCI kamden bentai isu buat kata ka jingja ke kendrum-kendram ka bai dei begini ki silak paket ukau hendrei kadai baik apa sarkar jela nomor bana kaliang IRU jong kani ke office ladap IT siapa ka Department of Social Welfare kini ke kalau basusi aduh kata-kata khamtam hukum kini kapor ka bakada kudon kani ke klam kangwa apa pilaban I bana kaliang kaseng na kapor ngejulek saman lagi kentot saman lagi senong githau skinong kendang befer banyarap ya ki produk perasnan di basam sitom haduk kata-kata nomor kani ke klam nomor kani ke lockdown ha bangi lairap yu khau hendrei songsi penban fausi ba Nadian nalendat pada yo khau budi ban poi hok se gibriu ki beduk latu labam no daki kat tu ni gibriu bana kaliang ka sarkar jelah din mengalai su ya ka statement jung ya ka jengkeran jung ni General Manager ni dawa bakadi ban positive and daki independent inquiry bat kadi ban ajubam bakadi ban pensitom ya borok kitu di bedon kiti ya kan ka jibam tu yo khau jung pat ba bedok walada ka sarkar kamli ka skap kuman bakaya kayele ban penjak klub ya kan ka mat kemut ka seng what happening in the lockdown kampansi mensim di jam di bateng ya.
Speaking to the media, Meghalaya Social Welfare Minister Shillong clarified that the rice that is being taken out from the Food Corporation of India is for conducting the fortification process. Shillong said the fortification process include additional ingredients such as carbohydrates, fats and proteins. He also said that he is having very little knowledge on how and where the process of fortification is being done, and he will try to find out from the government of Assam.
Yeah, we also from the department, we saw that news and we react on that. So we are trying to find the fact what exactly happened. So actually, we from the department, we get this FCI rice, where it is as per norm, it's allowed for those suppliers to take a rice from the FCI and then that amount of rice take it for fortification. So on the process of fortification, so these people, they take it previously, they take it from Meghalaya and then take it to Gurgaon, Delhi, and then After processing, then they bring it back to Meghalaya. It's quite long process. So, but the main concern of our department is that the amount of quantity of rice and which are given to our department. So that same amount of quantity, after they converting it, they give it back to us. So our concern is that the quantity, the quality should be perfect. So it is perfect, and they have sent it on time also. So for that, we have no issues against from our department. We have no issues against with these suppliers, because we collect the exact amount as per provide for us. So that's why as of now, even our department is trying to find the facts what exactly needs to be done in future, or maybe later on when it comes to this. So if we find that these people are doing something wrong, so we from our department will have a sit and then we'll decide what needs to do against these people. Actually, it's not supposed to send to Guwahati, it's supposed to send to Delhi, Gurgaon. But what makes them stock it there, that is exactly from our department, because we never put a track on them what is the processing, how do they take it for fortification. So but it's just that recently we were highlighted through this news and all, we came to know that they put a stop on Guwahati. So but they keep it, that why they keep it in Guwahati, so that needs to find out. Yeah, now we are on a walk. The moment we saw the news, so our team, from our department, they're trying to collect the real information from the suppliers also. What's the reason and why that came out? So we are in the process.
The hawkers of Shillong and its adjoining areas today expressed gratitude to the East Khasi Hills District Administration for allowing them to sell their goods. They informed that though the sale is very less, yet they are happy that they can resume the business. They profusely thanked the magistrate who allowed them to sell the goods in odd and even numbers. They also said that they have been economically affected due to the lockdown imposed by the state government.
Tema ila pensngau ya ka ke jing sem jenjar jong ki nang di madan nomor hang ni bunu baduk ki baduk sudah mo te hadi nang to nakawai ke por ngila persang ban ya kren ban ya pensuto ya i mentagas ni ila ailat lihat tensoy te ngila ya jaw to uot number uot dong uot event geng te mentagas ni udah sedang won te kamut la shay ngila pep kamut la chisi la dayu tu long tamo nomor ba nang ba beli ki berulang kinyo kan gajing mentoy kin dia tensoi kin thiri jur nei khau nei kilo ar kilo mana mar kat kumolong mentahi namar ka sarkar kam lai ai ru em ban yarap na benta uduk usuk namar na ka por ngila libu ki jing tho ki ai ngila li ai lut haka government namar ba katu ka jing tho nakaliang dang di madan kamut ka subu kum tu kam ju pentri kam tena kata ka daw ngim am bansi bangin hamni hi dalade bat lalong no kum bangi bat ya ka an hakati lade kalong kumta datang ba khandiat pat bangi kemen namar ba ngila don kata kajing ya dai jing mut bat kibriu jong ka an bat ngi ki hokos data kadang ngila ailat ya kumta kan namar bala ar pusan teli kini kidak bangila tho takamut mentangi syong kini ki ar pusan teli bat katai MTC ru kibadi jur long ngila phalut kibadi jur riso ngila ailat chatai te kibadi tang ka jan kistipar kijuti long ipha long kemadam ka pha hang ni te ka banong kong ngi sungu ya ikong litan kay namar ba ila ban pensngeu hakmat idisi badan buram mo ya kata te idisi ro long isngu tho kan ba kajing jong ipa ba namar ba kamtam ka karison ro mbun ro badan ngala ngi namar ngi sim kerteng ila kelilut ya barakhat kinong di madan dai hang ni hi kamong nak arsta teli ki nocong dukan dai kamong ki badan kat san thau teli sispa san thau ki mamdan kat rison te kitu ki mamdan kat rison long kimyo jingarap nang nunong nuru em te alis ka wai ru nakaliang ka seng namar ngi ngila persang kat bala ngi a jingarap hendiat kensat kat bala mentalai tayo kenti ngila a ki khau ki dai ki umpniang kitu ki neutrila ngi a jingarap ya bapli namar ba hoat kaseng kadang duk ngimla ban a sibon tang ba alis si lai sau sensiat long ngila ban ya menta namar kataru dei ka Kadai kajing no senyang kiriu simet pasat ha ya kata emba hoat kakta hi namar ba chisin ba kibriu kibayat kibayang kidang duna mo kakta tangba milei namar ya kata masuki ladang iyo hi ban please kayat namar mencam senam ro kalong gumni akasi bangi play nongkong kumta siadi iwai arteli tehadin dapsi katu kanisni te kilabun kinong yat kinong geng te kamon la kamla kan bandi ya kata mo kata kajing tak hi kan namar ka bai da jusen basai ya kamar na kudam do da ju tu sim mem ka bai kit tang ba le gumno namar ba la ya song yeng la da du ar banai duna ta kamon ngimban si kan ngin habmi la kami ya kata.
East Khasi Hills Deputy Commissioner Isawanda Lalu today allowed the hawkers to sell their goods at Khandai Lat with strict adherence of COVID-19 protocols. The district administration has also set up the vaccination center at Muda Complex at Khandai Lat to facilitate the hawkers to take the COVID vaccine without any problem.
Ya kata em namar ka sarkar ka kentuhi yang i namar ba ngin hap ai hi ya kata ka injek ken tanah kaliang dungi kilabun hiru ki ba ai namar nadu men si tho ding susah jan ru lali ai menta ka sniru kidan hi kini nong di madan namar ba kawai ru namar ba ka sarkar kamla hiru ban penbor yanu dei kani dei ka mon ladi haladi ngin hap ya da ya ladi haladi te gitu hi ki ba sutho ba ka dei ka ba hatam te kilali ai kidan hiru ki badang ting te gitu ki badang tin kim panut tang alis kata ru ngilaya lai bani pesutho ye ki kat bala namar ba kilabun ki ba ai long kim om lei ho namar ka sarkar kala pen kre hang ni namar ba yakin hoko si namar kila be ban ai hang ni namar nakaliang ka government ru ka ong hi namar ba lada ti ai kani long kasip alis wala dang subo mentala ding layo ya katu dei ladang imdeng ka mas long kansip ya kata dei mar kaya da kenyangi dekat bala nga persyang hiru bangan pensuhu hi ya kibriu jongi ngoto mlele ngali ai namar ba kamdei ka basniu ka dei ka babaham te kilabun hi ki bali ai ru ya kata kidang don hi kan ki bampat li ai ki ba kidang ting kidang ong apswang saya perkhat kidan ru ki bali ai na mensu sajan ru kila don haru jin arngut kinong di madan kilali ai mo ya kata
things into streamline and trying to get things in a very easy way. We have in our area, that is zone 3, we have been allowed 3 days a week to open the shops, and the shops are opening on a rotation wise. That different categories are opening on a different date. So we are allowing such arrangements to be made in our locality in Pulibujar area ward 9, so that there is no chaos, and we see that all the people are also happy, the shopkeepers are happy, because we understand the plight of the shopkeepers also for the last 2 months. They have not been able to open the shops, as a result of which they are running into heavy financial crisis. But seeing the situation, we cannot also allow everything to open at a time, so that again our state may go back, and the pandemic which we are trying to control may go beyond hands. So we are really grateful to the government, district administration, and especially our incident commander, who has taken all the pain to make things in an easier way. Now this week's arrangement is that the garment shops, footwear has also been allowed to open, and simultaneously even the hawkers who have a right for their living have been allowed by the district administration to sit on odd and even basis, which I think on your visiting on the street you might have seen them sitting there. They are also, the request by the district administration is there to the street vendors also to see that they maintain the social distancing and the SOPs are laid down by the government.
Every year, 14th June is observed as World Blood Donor Day across the globe. The day is an initiative by the World Health Organization, WHO. The aim of this day is to spread awareness about blood donation and the need for safe blood and blood products. Also, it is celebrated to appreciate the contribution of voluntary blood donors in saving lives. In Meghalaya, the day is observed through various activities by various organizations in collaboration with Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, Shillong, and Meghalaya State Blood Council, Shillong. Voluntary blood donation camp was organized at Blood Center Joai Civil Hospital by Jing Seng Samla Balang Presbyterian Joai. There were 9 volunteers who came forward, and 8 of them donated their blood. A similar camp was also held in Tura Civil Hospital, organized by the SAFE Tura, wherein 8 volunteers donated their blood to mark the event. To mark this special day, today, and in collaboration with Meghalaya AIDS Control Society, the Red Ribbon Clubs RRC of St. Edmund's College, Shillong, and of Thomas Jones College, Joai, have also organized posters and slogan competition. The outbreak of the current pandemic and a complete lockdown has led to the shortage of blood supply in all the licensed blood centers in the state. This calls for an appeal to all healthy individuals between the age group of 18 years to 65 years to come forward and voluntarily donate the blood in order to prevent crisis. So viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.